Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I want to talk to you about 4 unspoken rules of successful long term weight loss. And honestly, these rules can be applied to many, many areas of your life. And I think um, there's a story I'd like to share about myself, and not in regards to weight loss, but how these 4 rules kind of played a really important part of me being able to get through medical school with 3 small children and a sick grandmother that I was taking care of. And this is something that seems really hard and stressful, just like someone who's trying to overcome some type of health issue, trying to lose weight, improve whatever it is in their life. Well, when I got married right out of college, I stayed home for 6 years and had 3 kiddos. I started medical school. My kids were 5, 3, and 10 months old. And I started a dual degree program because, medical school is not hard enough. Let's do an ND MBA program. And um, how did people go, how did you do that? It must have been so hard. Yeah, it was hard. But I'm going to share with you how these rules apply to that situation. So, and how they can be applied to yourself. I think rule number 1 is you have to be 100% responsible for yourself and your actions. Oh. And when I say that, when I say be responsible 100% for your actions, there's 2 things to that. One is your inner state. What are your thoughts, your reactions, your attitude about a given situation? And 2, that informs your behavior and your long-term actions, right? So the moment that you decide that you're done beating yourself up or feeling miserable, or let's say I wasn't getting the grades that maybe my freewheeling, no responsibility classmates were getting, but I was still doing well. I still learned the material. And don't get me wrong, I did well in medical school, but this is beside the point. When I could look at this as like feeling guilty, I was like, oh, they don't have kids, so that's why they can go study or they can go do this. I have to go to this. I have to do that. This attitude is really, really important. So when you switch it around, instead of saying, oh, but being 100% responsible means I'm going to be harder on myself. Absolutely not. What that does is this empowers you, right? This gives you power. This gives you confidence that at the end of the day, you are in control of what you do next, right? It doesn't like, oh, I have to beat myself up because things didn't work out perfectly. So we'll get down to the other rules here in a minute, and I'll explain that even further. But this is the moment that you're like, I'm done suffering. I'm done, having these negative thoughts and attitudes that just make my life more unhappy. There are things that are happening. There's life circumstances right now that, yeah, they may be less favorable, but they're still the circumstances. And the moment that I accept that, yes, going to medical school with 3 kids is hard, but it's a choice that I made and it's something I'm absolutely dedicated to, that's what I did. And so that is how you move forward. You're like, I made this choice and I'm going to go through it. There will be hard days and there will be easier days. And that's exactly like it is in life, right? There's going to be hard days of weight loss. There's going to be easy days of weight loss. There's going to be easy wins and harder wins. That's just welcome to Life 101, guys. That is the way it is. But the moment you decide that you are responsible for your life, no one's going to come out of the woods on their, your knight in shining armor is not going to come riding up and save you. You, my friend, are your knight on shining armor. So you need to be 100% responsible, number 1, for your inner state, right? Doesn't mean that there's not days that it's more difficult to be more positive, but you can absolutely turn that around by taking some deep breaths, rooting yourself in the current moment, and accepting the reality of whatever it is in that moment. And honestly, what you think is really high anxiety and stress drop dramatically very quickly. The moment that you're like, in this moment, it's okay. What do I see here right in front of me? You accept it. Now you have space around that circumstance, that thought, that emotion, and you're going to be able to take action if action is called for. And it's going to be an action that's going to be much more in tune with moving you in an accelerated direction that you're wanting to go towards. All right, I hope that makes sense. Number two is really thinking about imperfect action daily. And what does that mean? Well, this means that you're not afraid to take action, right? Sometimes we hear of people having analysis paralysis, right? They want to make sure that the thing that they do is absolutely perfect, so there's no room for failure. You can't do that. You'll never take action. So, you'll be a month, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, a decade later, still waiting to take action because you just quite haven't developed the right plan. Um, Life is messy, guys. It's okay to take action and it not be perfectly laid out. But guess what? You're going to learn from these actions and figure out exactly what you can do, right? The whole point is you move, each little step moves you in a better direction. So maybe you have, let me think of a good example here. So maybe you have instant oatmeal when you would have preferred steel cutouts. Okay, because instant oatmeal was all that was available in the hotel little thing and you were starving. Great. You still ate oatmeal. It's just a little bit more chopped up. That's okay, right? So that is a place that I want you to start thinking of. So maybe you only get a 5-minute walk out today and you don't get to do your normal hour walk because it starts, raining or you had a meeting that you had to attend. You still moved your body. That's that is okay. This is a win. So imperfect action daily, right? Number three, this is really important. There are no failures, just learning. These are just data, right? So this is about adopting a growth mindset. And the really important piece of this with weight loss is understanding that what so many people consider failures is just the normal fluctuation of weight day to day. So let's say this week you lost 2 pounds and then next week you lose 2 pounds and suddenly now you're plus a pound. This is normal occurrences. There's hormonal fluctuations. Did you poop today? And so this is the normal way it is. You go through medical school, you're doing great. Oh, wow, suddenly I got a less favorable grade. Or, oh man, that test was much harder. I didn't get to sleep as well. Sick kid. Guess what? What did I learn? Another really fun story that I had when I was in residency. I was rounding with the doctors that do bypass surgery and different surgeries like that for weight loss. And as I was rounding, because I was family medicine, we rounded with surgeons, we did OB, we did pediatrics, right? So they put us through the whole shebang. Like we got a wide variety of experiences. But as I was rounding on the patients, what would happen is medical students typically round first, then the residents, but we didn't have any medical students, so it was the residents. And so we would round on the patients, make our notes, and then we'd round with the attending, right? That's the big boss, the doctor. I was a doctor, but it was the doctor out of residency. He was the surgeon. And these patients have a lot of little intricacies right after surgery that you have to pay attention to. And one of them is their electrolyte balance. And potassium was low in this one patient. And I had overlooked it. And the surgeon looked at me and he goes, "This potassium is low." And the surgeon met every criteria of like a surgeon's attitude that you wouldn't want to be around. Yeah, this was this guy. And there was only two of us. And he's like, "This potassium is low. Why is it low? Has it been addressed?" I was like, "Oh, sorry, that is my fault. I will jump on it. It won't happen again." This is simple. Okay. I did not deem this as a failure. I deem this as, oh, I need to pay attention to the potassium. Note to self, won't do it again. These are people I have to take care of, Lori. Okay, moving on. The patient was okay. I was okay. The doctor stopped the cart and he goes, "Excuse me, what did you say?" I was like, "I'm sorry, it won't happen again." And he's like, "Do you realize that you're the first resident I've ever worked with that actually took ownership of their mistake?" And I was like, "No." I was like, I was raised to, you own it. Because guess what? If you fib and lie about it, guess what? Someone's going to come around and figure that out. It's just easier to be honest. And honestly, it's hard for me. I don't know why I'm grabbing my shirt today. Maybe it's a little warm. But anyway, so he's like, I became his favorite resident. This was a good thing. It was a blessing and a curse. It was great to have him like me, but moly moly, he would call me for anything he needed. So it actually added to my workload, which was fine. I learned so much from him, and he actually became a very delightful human to be around. And so that brass personality kind of softened a bit because I showed integrity. But again, this is a wonderful way. If you start thinking of yourself as there are no failures, there's just learnings. You have integrity with yourself, right? You're not going to be beating yourself up. You're going to have less judgment, less negative emotions. And guess what? When you take things like that, you take actions faster. You course correct more quickly, and you're going to reach your goals faster. So if anything, what I'd like you to do is think about changing your attitude towards setbacks, failures, whatever you want to call them. And I want you to really think about how these course corrections can lead you faster to your goal. Because the moment that you understand that, you're releasing the emotions, you're not hung up on the outcomes of every single day's weight or whatever that is, boy, you are going to accelerate towards your goal. Next is keep it simple, sweetheart. So I think it's really important to understand the importance of keeping it simple and systemizing things. So what does that look like in the world of weight loss? Number one, that means eating simple whole plant foods. And the simpler that you keep it, that maybe you eat the same thing for a week just to move into the direction of a whole food plant-based diet, right? So if you can think of it that way, you're going to make your life so less complicated, right? You're not having decision fatigue by thinking, oh, I need to make these gourmet meals. No, not at all. Maybe you do some batch cooking. You make it even more simply. Like, these are the things I have. I have these beans, this grain, these veggies, different sauces. Well, this is what I have, and this is what I'll do. And guess what? If you don't like the taste, it's not a failure. It's a learning. And you change the recipe. So anyway, just remember, keep it simple, sweetheart. It's a kiss, and not say kiss. When I first heard kiss, it was like, keep it simple, stupid. I'm like, why would I say stupid? So this is what I want to say. Keep it simple, sweetheart. And you have to say it just like that. All right. So when you start overthinking things, and when you start getting stressed and anxious because you're like, oh, there's so much to do, I want you to remember this phrase: keep it simple, sweetheart. Keep it simple. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. So what are the 4 rules? Be 100% responsible. Imperfect action daily. Just go out and see what happens. Walk in faith that it's going to be okay. And no failures, just learnings. It's just data. Course correct to get to your goal faster. And keep it simple, sweetheart. Boom. And you're on your way to successful weight loss and whatever other things you want to apply these 4 simple rules to. Because if we all would just apply these rules to different parts of our life, it'd be a way easier and more enjoyable time while we're inhabiting this body on this earth. So anyway, I hope you guys found that helpful. And yeah, so I am off to go do my first live coaching from my Psychology of Weight Loss course. So that should be fun. If you're interested and need some more help with weight loss, we're revamping things around here. And so really going to try and focus in on a few different stages of weight loss with people. So including the podcast interviews, my courses that I'm talking, these lives are going to be focused in on a few different things. One, Healing Kitchen is master the kitchen, right? So you can master the kitchen for weight loss. 2, Psychology of Weight Loss is my course that I've created and ebook. This is about mastering the mental game of weight loss. And 3, the next one I'm about to launch is Master Your Metabolism for Weight Loss, right? So this is the metabolic blueprint, right? This is the metabolic mastery blueprint. And It will also improve your blood sugars. It'll also improve your cholesterol, but really it's going to help you with the weight loss. So master the kitchen, master your mental game, and then master your metabolism. And that's where we'll be heading. And I'm super stoked about it. It's going to help many, many things. Weight loss will be the main focus, but it's going to help so many other parts of your health, and because they're all interrelated. But if I had one thing to focus on, that will be it. So, all right, guys, I hope that this was helpful. I really want to say thank you for being here today. It's just such a joy to see people's comments. So please subscribe and comment. And I hope this was helpful. I'm going to be doing more of these type of lives and really very clear actions and why, and looking at data and maybe doing some summaries of other research, or maybe it's some mindset stuff. But regardless, I want to thank you again. I'm sending you love, joy, peace, and abundance and healing, because like I said, we always need more of that in this world. And thank you for being here. And I will be back tomorrow. Bye, guys.